6 days, God created everything. Well, people would say, yeah, but those days don't have to be natural, literal 24-hour days, do they? Oh, yes, they do. God defines his terms, and the very first time the word day is used, the Hebrew word is yom, very first time it's used in Genesis 1:5, I believe it is, God separated the light from the darkness. The darkness he called night, and the light he called day. The evening and the morning were the first day. And so God defined the term day, or yom, as the light period in the cyclical succession of light and darkness which began on the first day and been going on every day since. And if that isn't enough, then of course when God wrote down the 10 Commandments with his own finger on a table of stone, you know what it says there in the fourth commandment, in the 20th chapter of Exodus, it says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you do all your work and so on. 7th day you don't work. Because in 6 days God made heaven and earth and the sea and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. How could language be any more plain than that? It says, man, you work 6 days because I work 6 days. You rest 1 day because I rested 1 day. Same word, same construction. If they're not the same kinds of days, then God can't communicate. But that's his word. And he even wrote that down with his own finger on a table of stone, it says in Exodus 31. I like to put it this way, all scripture is divinely inspired. That part was divinely inscribed. Now, that tells us, doesn't it? If we're going to take any part of the Bible seriously, we should take that part. God thought enough about that to write it down himself. Didn't go through any intermediary at all. And there he says he did it in 6 days, so that's what it was. And isn't it significant that all through history people have been keeping times in terms of weeks? There's no astronomical basis for the week, so why they do that? You know, the day has an astronomical basis. That's the earth rotating on its axis. The year, that's the earth orbiting the sun. The month, that's the moon orbiting the earth. But there's no astronomical basis for the week, whatever. Where do we get the idea of keeping time in weeks? Well, because in 6 days God made heaven and earth and the sea and all that is in them is, and rested the 7th day. And even when people don't like to have 7-day weeks, like, you know, the communists back in the early days of the revolution, they tried to change the week. They didn't like the religious connotation of it, so they changed it, I think it was to 11 days maybe.